I'm redoing the audio for this video because I recorded it with my GoPro Hero Black, which had the audio adapter, which is this huge brick with a wire, and apparently it like jiggles loose from your helmet. So my audio quality was shiza. Ducati Monster 821 stripe. I took off the seat cowl to put on this tail bag. It's not as pretty as the seat cowl, but function over fashion. What can you do? CRG RC2 Adjustable levers for my little hands. I was still breaking in the bike and I kept waiting for where finding neutral would be better. They said, oh yeah, you got to brake in the bike. That silver knob right there, you can see the dirt. It was cranked too far in. I wasn't finding neutral. I was getting pretty frustrated when I couldn't find neutral on this bike, and I was trying everything, you know, when you kick it down from second at a stop, punching it up to first. Everybody on the forums were saying you got to roll forward and back to pop it up into first, and it was just a pain. And I think what had happened once I had the levers installed, they weren't, you know, they were all the way out, not adjusted for my little hands. And so once you adjust that, then the clutch play was off. So you just unscrew that silver knob, and it just, the bike made a world of difference. When the Thruxton R came out, I was pretty much convinced I was going to have to sell this bike and get that bike, because I was getting pretty frustrated with the neutral situation. But now that's all changed and I'm loving on this bike. Here and there, you'll get a false neutral sometimes between like 4th, 5th, 6th gear. You're on the freeway, you're going fast. You'll kick it and it'll just go, nothing's happening. Someone put in my comments that you should always shift up, safer to shift up. You'll hear that sometimes. That just happens. It's a trait of this bike. I was aware of that before it happened to me, which I'm glad I did, because I would have been like, what the hell? This little front guy here, I've got the stripe version. It's supposed to have the little fairing. I took that off. You can't put risers on and keep the screen. There's not enough room. But these are the Rizomas MA001B, B for black. And I've got, I think it's a 20 millimeter rise. I like the setup. It just, the bars, I really wanted it to be more narrow than stock. The width of stock was putting really bad pressure on my wrists. These Rizoma bars are pretty awesome. They're a lot more narrow. I like the way they look. The black looks sick. Can't put risers on and keep the screen. There's not enough room. And so that front area, by taking off the shield on the stripe model, it doesn't have that plastic guard covering the wires on your gauges. So I had to buy that piece and wait to adjust my bars. Speedy Moto frame sliders. These are going to help you in a tip over. Luckily, I haven't been able to test those out. No tip overs here. Got to find something to knock on wood. Burp, burp. So I got Speedy Moto slider spools in the back. Clean your chain, do your maintenance. Pretty awesome. Here's my Ram foam mount. I was getting teased that this thing's like all up in your face, but I wanted to have my GPS, see what I'm doing. I've seen some lot slicker mounts that people are putting on. I just don't want to block my gauges, but maybe I'll look into getting something else. This is a heavy shifter bike, I'm going to say. It takes a firm, hard shift. And I'm also going to say it's got kind of a hard clutch. This is the cable clutch. It's not totally easy peasy, loosey goosey. You know, you got to have strong hands going. But it's a really fun bike, and the engine, there's nothing like it. It's powerful, it roars. Just the feel of that engine puts a smile on your face. I'm 5'6". I decided to pop the seat up. There's these little blocks in here either side. Take those out. It like drops the seat an inch or something like that. That's like full pads with my feet. That's like my heel right there. And when you go to back the bike up, you have all that leverage, and that's so important to me. You know, there's plenty of times when I'm parking and maneuvering and, you know, slow paddling around. And if you're going to like slip on a wet leaf or something, woo, it's nice to be having more foot on the ground. Catch yourself. I'm a daily commuter, so I need to be able to paddle her around sometimes in and out of parking lots. That's why I popped those blocks out. Being on the bike, 5'6", I might be a little bit more cramped, like my legs might be a little bit more cramped on the ride. Some people lower the foot pegs and shifter brakes, but I'm all right with it. This bike puts a big smile on my face. I wanted a bike that was flickable with torque and power, something that just wowed me. I wanted something that would plant in corners. I wanted something with a reasonable seat height. I just wanted something really fun. I wanted something pretty. This thing is eye candy. And it's funny, I had to remind myself of all these things. Of why did I want this bike again? You know, when I couldn't find neutral after a while, you know, after 2,400 miles or so, I was like, really getting BS about it. You know, when you get home, you roll in the driveway, you just want to be able to pop it in neutral and be done. Same thing. You're sitting at a light and you're like, ugh, I got to do this roll forward back and trying to kick it in and kick it out. It's like, what is, you know, you get annoyed. And I was like starting to look at other bikes. But then once I got that adjusted, I was like, oh, this is why I love this bike again. So definitely check the clutch play, adjust that. In fact, I was looking at getting the Ducati Scrambler, and when those finally came out, I had a deposit down, and I went to go test ride it, and I got on it, and I was like, what is going on with this seat? It's like, are you serious? There's this hump that sits right underneath your tailbone, and when you're riding, it just like jams. I don't know, like, I was like, did they not test ride this bike? The people who made it? What's going on here? It was ridiculous. But aside from that, because you can get a custom seat, whatever, my dealer, he told me that basically, you know, you do a lot of freeway riding. Why don't you try the Monster? Because the Monster really handles freeway well. You know, it goes fast. It's awesome. The Scrambler is a total lighter bike. It's for tooling around town, whatever. It's totally fun. I'm a daily commuter, Los Angeles, a lot of freeways, like all the time, and surface streets, but a lot of freeways. So I'm really glad I got this Monster that just, like I said, it plants in those corners. It's just really solid. It's just a lot of fun. Plenty of torque to get away from trouble town drivers. It's a really good bike. And he also said that this is going to get better gas mileage than the 1200, and it's going to be lower insurance costs, and it's going to be more flickable. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Damn it.